Dan is going to he's going to do a great job with that program to add Russell the way that they did today and to have him play the way that he did, especially in the first half, really made us pick our defense up in the second half, especially on him, because he can cause so many issues. But Dan's got a team now that can drive it, they can shoot it, and I'm proud of the way our guys got ready for this, because Tuesday night was a tough loss. We traveled back Wednesday. We practiced Thursday and Friday. We're trying to get ourselves better, and at the same time, we're spending a lot of time on the game plan. And I thought they did a really good job inside of this game of staying locked in and focused, and at the same time building on the things that we had to build on. The rebounding, the blockouts, the offensive rebound pursuits, which was, in our case, not quite as bad as the lack of blockouts Tuesday night, but it was right there. We didn't offensive rebound with the same level that we needed to, and to get better in the second half the way that we did. And we were 37-43 in the second half when we went through the paint. And not necessarily a paint score, but when we went through the paint. Too many times in the first half we didn't do that. We took jumpers without the ball getting into the paint. But they brought their competitive level to today, and our guys did too. And really excited about the contributions of your Troy Williams to play a game like that, and when he's being aggressive and not have a turnover, strong, and really responded from the other day. James certainly did. Rob Johnson's a guy that's getting a lot done for us, and it's not always showing up in the numbers, but we're asking a lot of him. We're asking a lot of James and Rob. And for them to play 10 games and to play at the level that they're playing at says a lot. It really does. I thought Hunter and Emmett did a really good job for us, and Colin and Nick together, when they're in the game together, our plus-minus is high, especially with the right lineups, but it's high. But the guy that keeps getting better and better, and the guy that is an outstanding two-way player, showing leadership, just continues to compete and fight, and is so smart, and that's Yogi. He just continues to get better. And we're asking a lot of him. Sometimes he's on the ball, sometimes he's off the ball, sometimes he gets the ball on reversal, whatever it is, because we have so many different guys that can handle and make plays, and he just continues to respond constantly. And if there's a better defensive player in the backcourt in the country, I'll be happy to get some synergy tape or sit up some night and watch him, because he is really good defensively. Because we're asking a lot of him on the offensive end, but we're probably even getting more from him on the defensive end, and that's a compliment, because he brings it every game at a very high level on the defensive end. So we're in exam week now. We'll have time to get our breath, which we need. These guys have worked extremely hard week after week, and it's not just the physical wear and tear, because it's very easy to look at them as 18, 19, 20-year-olds and say, okay, they should be in great shape. Well, they're in great shape. It's the mental endurance they've got to go through, because we're asking a lot of young guys, and some that were getting on yellow school buses a year ago, playing on Friday and Saturday nights. And now they got to prepare for some of the best teams in the country, but no matter what, they got to turn around and prepare, and at the same time improve their games. So very good win for us. Grand Canyon's going to be a good team. He's an outstanding coach, proud of what he's doing as a coach, because it was just a matter of time. Whatever he chose to do after he played, he's going to be successful at it. And it's great to watch him with that program, and it's a very good win for us.
Mike, between the rebounds and the lack of turnovers for Troy and Hunter, was this just the case of them just answering to what didn't go well?
I think it's a case of them really wanting to get better. I think it's being honest. I think it's when you're honest with what you see on film, and you don't rationalize, and you want to improve. And they got challenged pretty hard Tuesday night when the game ended, and from that point forward, in the practices, because we need that from them. But they both want to be really good players, and I'd throw Emmett in that same group. But they all do. They all want to be good players. And what they're learning is that we can control so much of our effort. We can control our awareness when we remind each other, when we're talking, when we're just moving the ball the way we did. We open up the game in a play with Troy, gets a layup to start the game, totally under control. That's what we need from him. So will it be consistent? Well, it's got to grow to be consistent. But, I mean, when you see what you see today, you know that it's there, and there's a chance for him to continue to improve that way, and the same thing with Hunter.
Coach, 4 turnovers total total, none in the
Crazy,
second
isn't
half.
it? That's beyond belief.
I mean, just talk about how far these guys have come.
Well, I still have to, we have to go back through the tape and see if that's actually accurate because, man, I mean, I've never coached a team that had that few. I know it hadn't been here according to JD. I doubt it was at Marquette. But because it was a fast-paced game and we wanted to play fast. So I think that's a big step. What that does is put the pressure on the players now to know that they can do it. Troy can play a game like that. I mean, because he had some of those passes, I thought it was Peyton Manning or Brett Favre zinging it. But they were all catchable and they were knockdowns. And a little bit sometimes with Troy, you got to take the real fast Troy with the I can still get it done at a fast pace without being blazing fast, Troy. And when he understands that, he's going to be really good. But we moved the ball when we got very good reversal, and it wasn't complicated for us. It wasn't about running a lot of different sets. It was about really getting the ball reversed and play out of that. And when we do that, we've got a chance because of our spacing. And I thought one thing that was really good, we had a lot of good hard rolls tonight. They weren't light rolls, soft rolls, or they were really hard, so you're making people play. Our spacing, we wanted to get better at waiting and until our movement, till we hit the point of the screen, little details like that increase our spacing. I thought our guys did a good job of that too. That all plays into having few turnovers.
How important was it for you guys to come out and attack the basket to begin the second half, and how happy were you with that?
Oh, very much so. Very much. Because sometimes when you've got really good shooters, they forget how easy it will be if they just move the ball and they move it through the paint where you're creating help. And when you're not making people help, eventually they get confidence because it wasn't like we were making all of those shots. I don't have a problem with the attempts. I don't have any problem at all. There's going to be some night we shoot 40, 45 threes. I'm not concerned about that. As long as it goes through the paint and as long as they're rhythm shots and as long as we're making people move. Then those are good plays. And we've got some guys that are really capable in transition, but we've got a whole team that's capable when we get the ball from side to side 2 or 3 times. So to get through the paint and to get established inside the paint in the second half was really good. That was a fantastic number for us, probably the best we've had. 43 or 37 to 43 going through the paint.
Kind of bigger picture, but I know you've still got a couple tough games left on the non-conference schedule. Is this team, as you get to finals week, I know that's kind of just sort of a moment to breathe, as you said.
Yeah, we're ready for a break. I could see that in them yesterday.
Is it kind of, I guess, coming together the way that you need it to as you get into this point in the season where you gear up for a couple big games and then obviously Nebraska on New Year's Eve? Well,
I think the bottom line is, though, Zach, that young teams, you got to get it across to them quickly that every game is big. I mean, there's household name teams, and it's not about TV because every game's on television, obviously, but there's the household name games, and then there's all the games, and you've got to get them to understand how important those are because you're always getting in a rut or you're always getting in a groove. You're always building towards that. There's momentum inside the game. Well, there's momentum inside the season. And if you win, but you didn't play real well or you didn't play as diligent and as focused as you need to be, that's what cost us the Eastern Washington game because we didn't do that in the Lamar game, okay? And what turned around and helped us, what I thought last Saturday was so good, and again, I keep talking about last Saturday because, again, it was a game that we needed to come out and prove and show some maturity in that game. And we did. And today was like that. So every game, we have to, obviously the game with Butler, I haven't watched them or studied them yet. I've watched them, but I haven't studied them. They're very, very good. They make a high percentage of threes. They have a low number of turnovers. They get to the foul line. They're defending at an incredibly high level. They have an older team. They have matchup issues all over the court. It's going to be a very hard game. But if our guys look at that any differently, they look at the New Orleans game and then beyond, somewhere along the line, we won't be as focused or ready for a Georgetown or a Nebraska or somebody like that. So bottom line this week is improvement. Everybody's got a laundry list of things that they need to get better at, but at the same time, we've got to focus on school. And last week was a very busy week for them academically. It always is at Indiana the week before exams. And it's a busy week this week. But at the same time, we want to focus on getting better, get a game plan in, but let them catch their breath, so to speak, and get re-energized a little bit. Because this team is really, in answer to your question, they're giving a lot right now, and some of them are realizing that they had more in them than they thought, but they really want to be good, And so as long as we continue on that path, we will improve.
Coach, 10 games in, kind of looking at what you've done well, what hasn't done well, what are the things that are kind of on the top list as far as what you really want to improve on before Big Ten play starts? And kind of where would you put being able to dribble penetration maybe a little better than the Eastern Washington games it looks like we had to get to?
Well, yeah, and I think the biggest thing, the other night was a great example, and Eastern Washington was an example. We picked the ball up too high against Eastern Washington, okay? And we opened up. We didn't turn the dribbler. The other night we chased the ball too much. I think the biggest thing is, in answer to your question, is stay in front of the ball better. Don't overreact to the ball, okay, when we're in help. Stay with the shooters. Stay with the people that can cut. And don't get into rotation, which is going to cause a lot of bad rebounding scenarios. So there's no question we've got to do a better job of keeping our chest in front, knowing personnel. And first half, we didn't do a good job at all on the way we wanted to guard zero, okay? And we didn't realize till this morning, till JD saw in an article from somewhere in Arizona that he was actually eligible for this game. We knew that he was potentially going to be playing soon. So we went to work quick this morning, got enough film for the guys to see. And in the second half, we really did what we wanted to do. You know, we zoned more, and we took away some of the things that he wanted. So being able to do that with personnel-driven characteristics and at the same time chest in front and not chasing the ball is really big. No question we've got to continue to improve the rebounding. Defensively, our transition defense. Like I told our team, if we got back the same level Stan got back after the little skirmish, if we got back like that every game, or we got back like that every time, our transition defense would be the best in the country. They got to figure out how to do that. It can't take getting challenged, you know, inside of the game to go that hard in transition defense. So we got to get better at all of those things. We can tighten everything up, but those are the biggest things. On offense, we got to continue to screen better, and we've got to continue to move even better. And our spacing is not even, it's better, but it's not even close to where it's got to be. Our recognition off the ball screens and our, you know, being truly where we need to be in the spacing is not even close to where it will be. And at the same time, we got to improve our offensive rebounding. So there's a long list, and I give long answers, and I could give a lot longer answer, but that's a start.
Final question, Pete.
Tom, you mentioned the academic part. This is a little off topic a little bit, but how important has Martin really been to that? And do you have a specific example of maybe what she's meant in terms of, you know, maybe a kid was struggling or whatever, that they were help?
Well, I think we could give, I mean, it depends how much space the paper's going to give you on how many people she's helped. She's helped them all. And it's funny, we were talking about that with Steve Fiziak and John Crispin today. You know, we're doing the TV game. They were asking about the academics because they're looking at the APR numbers. And I said, she's the main reason, okay? She's the tough aunt. She's the big sister. She's the caring mother. She can be any of those. She can wear any of those roles, and she can change. I mean, she can wear any role within a matter of seconds. She can change it. And she's got the backing of me and the staff does a really good job of interacting on academics. Okay, did you get this in? You know, how's this class? Because we get reports from her every morning. I mean, every morning. We've got this report on where everything is that day, everything that happened yesterday, what's coming up the rest of the week, and where they stand every day in class. That takes a lot of work. And at the same time, she's spending countless hours with those guys. I don't think I could do justice to it by just saying one guy because it's constant. We have a team GPA of a 3.1 since we've been at Indiana. We've got more people graduating in 3.5 years at one of the finest academic institutions around, all right? And that lady runs it, okay? I mean, nobody's even remotely thinking of crossing her, you know, without consequences. Because not only because she's as strong a member as anybody in the program, but because they care about her and respect her so much. Greatest example I can give is that when these guys leave here, because, I mean, she was hard on Victor. She was hard on different guys like that. But if you ask Victor right now, one of his best friends in the world would be, he would say Marnie. But at the same time, she never babied him. She never kowtowed to him. I mean, that's the level that you want. She's made everybody better. And the person that doesn't want to get better, all right, and doesn't respond to her wouldn't belong here anyways, because then they won't want to get better on the court. But she does a tremendous job of being on top of every possible detail and carrying it out and got just a giant heart, all right? But she can be tough in a split second, You know, I like that she's got a hair trigger right now. You cross her the wrong way, and I love that because that's what they need. They need that guidance. But I don't have a specific example of one. You might get some from the players. All right, thank you.